Continue with 2 outer ears. Wrap the yarn around your little finger and then pull it over your index finger. The yarn tail can be kept longer. Pinch the yarn tail with your fingers. Put the crochet under the yarn. On the counterclockwise. Pinch the intersection. Pick the yarn and pull it through the loop on the hook. Pull the yarn tail tightly. Work 2 chains first. Pick the yarn and pull it through the loop on the hook. One chain is done. The other one by the same way. Two chains are done. Turn. Work from the second chain. Skip the first chain. Insert hook into the second chain. Just pick the single strand. Hook the yarn and pull up a loop. There are 2 loops on the hook now. Pick the yarn and pull it through both loops. Single crochet 1 is done. Place a marker in the first stitch. We need to work 3 single crochets in the second chain. Complete the remaining 2 single crochets by the same way. Single crochet 2. Single crochet 3. Three single crochets in one stitch is done. Continue with row 2. Work a chain at the standing stitch. Turn the fabric. The first V-shape is the chain. It's not included in the number of the stitches. Insert hook into the next stitch. We need to work 1 increase in this stitch. 1 increase here means 2 single crochets in the same stitch. 1 single crochet is done. Then the other one. One increase is done. Place a marker in the first stitch. The above is the second. The below is the first stitch. Place a marker under double strands of the V-shape below. Then 1 single crochet in each of the remaining 2 stitches. Single crochet 1. Single crochet 2. Row 2 is done. Continue with row 3. Work a chain first. Turn the fabric. In row 3, 1 single crochet in each stitch. Single crochet 1. single crochet 2, single crochet 3, single crochet 4, four single crochets are done. Pull the loop up. The yarn tail can be kept longer. Pull it out. Pass through a few stitches back and forth on the side to hide the yarn tail. When outer ear is done, crochet the other one by the same way. In order to save everyone's time, do it yourself. Continue with inner ears. Wrap the yarn tail around your little finger. Then pull it over your index finger. Keep the yarn tail longer. And pinch it with your thumb and middle finger. Put the crochet under the yarn, wind counterclockwise. Pinch the intersection. Pick the yarn and pull it through the loop on the hook. Pull the yarn tail tightly. Then 4 chains. Pick the yarn and pull it through the loop on the hook. Chain 1 is done. Chain 2. Chain 3. Chain 4. 4 chains are done. Turn from top to bottom. Skip the first chain. We'll work a single crochet in the second chain. 1/2 double crochet in the third chain. 1 double crochet in the last chain. One single crochet first. Just pick the single strand of the second chain. One single crochet is done. Place a marker in the first stitch. Then 1/2 double crochet. Pick the yarn. Just pick the single strand of the third chain. Hook the yarn and pull up a loop. There are 3 loops on the hook now. Pick the yarn and pull it through 3 loops. 1/2 double crochet is done. Then 1 double crochet. Pick the yarn. Just pick the single strand of the last chain. Hook the yarn and pull up a loop. There are 3 loops on the hook now. Pick the yarn and pull it through the first 2 loops on the hook. Pick the yarn again and pull it through the remaining 2 loops. When double crochet is done, pull the loop up. Keep the yarn tail longer. Pull the yarn tail out. One inner ear is done. Complete the other one by yourselves. Next, we'll crochet the tail with khaki yarn. Extend your left hand and wrap the yarn around your little finger, then pull it over your index finger. Keep the yarn tail longer. Pinch the yarn tail with your thumb and middle finger. Put the crochet under the yarn when the counterclockwise. Pinch the intersection. Pick the yarn and pull it through the loop on the hook. Pull the yarn tail tightly. Five chains first. Pick the yarn and pull it through the loop on the hook. Chain 1 is done. Complete the remaining 4 chains by the same way. Chain 2. Chain 3. Chain 4. Chain 5. 5 chains are done. Turn from top to bottom. Continue crocheting from the second chain. Skip the first chain. Just pick the single strand of chain 2. Hook the yarn and pull up a loop. One single crochet is done. Place a marker in the first stitch of this row. Then 1 increase. Just pick the single strand of chain 3. 1 increase here means 2 single crochets in the same stitch. One increase is done. Then 1 single crochet in the next chain. One single crochet is done. Then 1 increase in the last chain. 1 increase here means 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Single crochet 1. Single crochet 2. One increase is done. Row 1 is done. Continue with row 2. Work a chain first. Turn the fabric. Then make a set of 3 stitches. 1 single crochet in each of the first 2 stitches. 1 increase in stitch 3. 1 set will be done. Repeat the set for 2 times. Start with single crochet 1. Place a marker in the first stitch of this row. single crochet 2, one increase, one side is done, complete the other side by the same way, single crochet 1, single crochet 2, one increase in the last stitch, row 2 is done, continue with row 3, work a chain and turn the fabric. In row 3, make a set of 4 stitches, one single crochet in each of the first 2 stitches, one decrease in the next 2 stitches. One set will be done and repeat the set for 2 times. Single crochet 1 first, place a marker in the first stitch, then single crochet 2, single crochet 2 is done, then one decrease in the next 2 stitches. One decrease here means merging 2 stitches into one. Insert hook into the first stitch, hook the yarn and pull up a loop. Insert hook into the next stitch and pull up a loop. There are 3 loops on the hook now. Pick the yarn and pull it through all the loops. One decrease is done. One set is done. Complete the other side by the same way. Single crochet 1, single crochet 2, then one decrease. One decrease is done. Row 3 is done. Continue with row 4. Work a chain and turn the fabric. In row 4, make a set of 3 stitches. Work one single crochet in the first stitch. Then one decrease in the next 2 stitches. The crochet method for decrease was discussed just now. One decrease is done, and one side is done. Complete the other side by the same way. One single crochet, one decrease in the last 2 stitches, one decrease is done. Then work a chain to fix the yarn. Pull the loop up. The yarn tail can be kept longer. And pull it out. After passing the shorter yarn tail through the sewing needle, hide it into the fabric by passing a few stitches back and forth. Cut the shorter yarn tail. Fold and pinch the fabric in half. Fully stitch the two layers together. The tail is done. Continue with the legs. Make a magic ring first. Extend your left hand. Wrap the yarn tail around your little finger and pull it over your index finger. The yarn tail can be kept longer, and wrap it around your middle finger. Pinch the intersection. Insert hook into the ring. Pick the yarn and pull up a loop. Then work a chain. Pick the yarn and pull it through the loop on the hook. One chain is done. Then work 4 single crochets in the magic ring. Insert hook into the magic ring. Hook the yarn and pull up a loop. There are 2 loops on the hook. Pick the yarn and pull it through both loops. Single crochet 1 is done. Place a marker in the first stitch. A V shape on the side is 1 stitch. Complete the remaining 3 single crochets by the same way. Single crochet 2. Single crochet 3. Single crochet 4. Four single crochets are done. Pull the loop up. Tighten the loop until there is no space in the middle. Then make a slip stitch to connect this round. Remove the marker. Insert hook into the first stitch. Hook the yarn and pull up a loop. There are 2 loops on the hook now. Pull the front loop through the back one. Round 1 is done. Continue with round 2. Work a chain at the standing stitch. The chain isn't included in the number of the stitches. In round 2, make a set of 2 stitches. 1 single crochet in the first stitch. 1 increase in the second stitch. 1 set will be done. Repeat the set for 2 times to complete this round. Insert hook into the first stitch. Put the yarn tail on the hook to hide it while crocheting. Hook the yarn and pull up a loop. Pick the yarn and pull it through both loops. Place a marker in the first stitch. Then 1 increase. 1 increase here means 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Single crochet 1. Single crochet 2. One increase is done. 1 set is done. Complete the other side by the same way. 1 single crochet. 1 increase. 2 is done. Then work a slip stitch to connect this round. Round 2 is done. Continue with round 3. Similarly, work a chain at the standing stitch. Then make a set of 2 stitches. 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 1 increase in the second stitch. 1 set will be done, and repeat the set for 3 times to complete this round. 1 single crochet first. Insert hook into the first stitch. Place a marker in the first stitch. Flip the back of the fabric inside. Create a 3-dimensional shape with the help of the crochet. Then 1 increase in the next stitch. One set is done. Complete the remaining 2 sides by the same way. Set 2. 1 single crochet. 1 increase. Then set 3. 1 single crochet. 1 increase. Finally, work a slip stitch to connect this round. Round 3 is done. Continue with round 4, work a chain at the standing stitch. 1 single crochet in each stitch. There will be 9 single crochets in round 4. Work a single crochet first. Place a marker in the first stitch, then single crochet 2. In order to save everyone's time, we won't show the middle part. 9 single crochets are done. Then work a slip stitch to connect this round. Round 4 is done. Pull the loop up. The yarn tail can be kept longer. And pull it out. One leg is done. Complete the other 3 legs by the same way. After completing all 4 legs, we'll stuff a little cotton into each leg. Knit the cotton into a ball shape and stuff it into the leg. Continue with the dog's nose. Pinch the yarn tail with your right hand and extend your left hand. Wrap the yarn tail around your little finger. Then pull it over your index finger. Pinch the yarn tail with your thumb and middle finger. Put the crochet under the yarn and rotate counterclockwise. Pinch the intersection to make a slip knot. Pick the yarn and pull it through the loop. Tighten the yarn tail. Then we need to work 4 chains. Pick the yarn and pull it through the loop on the hook. Chain 1 is done. Complete the remaining 3 chains by the same way. Chain 2. Chain 3. Chain 4. Four chains are done. Turn, work downwards from the second chain. Skip the first chain. Work a single crochet from the second chain. Just pick the single strand. Hook the yarn and pull up a loop. There are 2 loops on the hook now. Pick the yarn and pull it through both loops. 1 single crochet is done. Place a marker in the first stitch. Then 1 single crochet in the next chain. Pick the single strand. One single crochet is done. Then 3 single crochets in the next chain. Just pick the single strand. Single crochet 1. single crochet 2, single crochet 3, continue on the other side. This single strand was already picked just now. Work from the next one. Pick it to work 1 single crochet. Then pick the next single strand to work 1 increase. One increase is done. Finally, work a slip stitch to connect this round. Remove the marker. Insert hook into the first stitch. Hook the yarn and pull up a loop. There are 2 loops on the hook now. Pull the front loop through the back one. Continue with round 2. Work a chain at the standing stitch. In round 2, 1 increase in stitch 1. That is the first stitch of round 1. Insert hook into the first stitch to work 1 single crochet. Place a marker in the first stitch of round 2. Work the other single crochet in the same stitch. One increase is done. Then 1 single crochet in the next stitch. One single crochet is done. Then 1 increase in each of the next 3 stitches. Increase 1. Increase 2. Increase 3. Three increases are done. Then 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Then 1 increase in each of the next 2 stitches. Increase 1. Increase 2. In round 2, 14 single crochets in all. Finally, work a slip stitch to connect this round. Insert hook into the first stitch. Hook the yarn and pull up a loop. There are 2 loops. Pull the front loop through the back one. Round 2 is done. Continue with round 3. Similarly, work a chain at the standing stitch. The chain isn't included in the number. Work 1 single crochet in each stitch to complete this round. 14 single crochets in all. Single crochet 1. Place a marker in the first stitch. Then single crochet 2. In order to save everyone's time, we won't show the middle part. 14 single crochets are done. Finally, work a slip stitch to connect this round. Pull the loop up. The yarn tail can be kept longer. And pull it out. The nose is done. Next, start stitching. Stitch the nose first. Between round 4 and 5. Mark with pins in advance. Sew a stitch on the main part first. Pass through the complete stitch back and forth. Sew a stitch on the main part again. Prepare some cotton in advance. When it's about to bend off, stuff cotton into the fabric. Continue passing through the next complete stitch from inside out. Then pass back through the next complete stitch. Continue stitching by the same way according to the video tutorial. Stuff some cotton into the fabric. Continue stitching. After stitching completed, pass the needle through the fabric. Pass through the hole where the yarn tail came out just now. Pass through the main part back and forth several times to hide the yarn tail and make the fabric compact. Cut the yarn. Continue stitching the ear. The center of 2 ears is on round 10. The position connected is round 5. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Find the center point of round 10. 18 stitches in all. 9 stitches on each side. 6 stitches apart between 2 ears. Find the anchor point. Remove the pin. Sew a stitch on the main part first, then another stitch on the ear. Only sew the 10th round of the main part. Sew back and forth according to the video tutorial. Sew in turn without skipping stitches. Finally, pass through the main part to fix the ear. Then hide the yarn tail into the fabric. Adjust it. Stitch the other ear by the same way. Continue stitching 2 inner ears, located in the center. Find the anchor point. Pass both yarns into the fabric separately. Sew 1 or 2 stitches at the bottom. Glue the 2 layers together. Here's the first stitch. Pick from the second stitch. Then pick the stitch in the middle of the bottom. Pass the yarn through the main part several times to hide it. Sew the other side by the same way. Hide the yarn tail into the fabric. Adjust it. Apply glue to the middle area. Sew it the other ear. Continue stitching the tail. The 2 stitches in the middle of round 23 and the 2 stitches in round 24. 4 stitches in all. Find the anchor point first. There is no standard sewing method for the tail. Just pay attention to adjusting the tail to be on the center line and facing forward while stitching. Sew a stitch on the main part first. Then a stitch on the tail. According to the video tutorial, 1 stitch on the main part, 1 stitch on the tail. After sewing the tail, pass the yarn tail through the main part several times to hide it. Continue stitching 4 legs. Find the position of both front legs first. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, the 9th round. You need to find the center point. 26 single crochets in all. 13 stitches on each side. 6 stitches apart between 2 legs. 3 stitches on each side. Next to round 9. Make the direction of the yarn inward. Fix the position with a pin. Sew it the other front leg. 3 stitches apart. The direction of the yarn inward next to round 9. Also fix the position with a pin. Then 2 hand legs. Find round 19. 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19. Place a pin here. Similarly, 3 stitches on each side. The direction of the yarn tail is inward. Next to round 19. Fix the position of one hand leg. Find the position of the other hand leg by the same way. Start stitching. Sew a stitch on the main part first. Then 2 stitches on the leg. From inside out. From outside to inside. Stitch in turn. Don't skip stitches. After stitching, pass the yarn tail through the main part several times to hide it. Stitch the remaining 3 legs by the same way. In order to save everyone's time, we won't show the middle part. Continue stitching the mouth. 3 yarns, 2 form a V shape. 1 is shorter. Find the approximate location first. That's the both sides of round 1. Then find the center point. Pass the black yarn through the main part several times to fix it into the fabric. Come out of the hole on one side of round 1. The center hole is too tight. Make it loose first. Next, stitch the mouth according to the video tutorial. Finally, pass the yarn through the main part several times to hide it into the fabric. Glue the nose onto the fabric. Then glue the eyes onto the fabric. The position is between round 6 and 7, 4 stitches apart, between 2 eyes. 2 stitches on each side. Continue stitching the eyebrows. Fold the yarn in half. Hide one end of the yarn into the fabric. Then pass the yarn through the main part several times to fix it. Three stitches are needed for the eyebrow. Stitch the eyebrows according to the video tutorial. Eyebrows stitching completed. Pass the yarn tail through the main part several times to hide it. Continue stitching the anus, diagonal stitching. Here's the center point, also the closing place. The 5 points above are located on round 3, counted from the center point. 1, 2, 3. 2 points determine a straight line. Set the position with pins in advance. This is the center point. Hide one end of the yarn into the fabric. Pass the yarn through the main part several times to fix it. Come out from the center point. Come out from the side. Complete the remaining according to the video tutorial. Finally, pass the yarn tail through the main part several times to fix and hide it. The cute dog completed. Thanks for watching.